my hair towards the side.
All right, everybody, we're live on the hardcover comic. I don't know where the hell Mike's at, so he's just gonna jump in when he jumps in. But we do have our guest tonight. We have Gem and Phie. Welcome, you guys. You guys are our first official guests on the hardcover comic.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So welcome. So I guess first off, Gem, what got you started collecting period? Because I think if I remember correctly, or if I've heard correctly, you kind of started off more with the statues kind of stuff and then sort of branched off into other culture things. Is that right?
Well, it depends how far back you want to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really.
I always have been the type, like, if I like something, I have to have like the whole set, the whole run, the whole collection. So I've always been a collector. But as far as getting back into comics, it started like when I found out about eBay and I started buying trading cards. I started buying the trading cards I used to have as a kid. And then that jumped into buying single issues, and that jumped into buying key issues. Then that led into sending my books to CGC, and then getting like big Grail CGC books. And then after that, I sold all that stuff to buy the Omnibus collection. And then I started into the statues. So actually, the statues was the recent thing.
The most recent
obsession.
Addiction.
Yeah.
Nice. So you started off like collecting like all like old like Marvel 94s and all that kind of stuff, the Marvel masterpieces and the Marvel universes and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always tell people, like the 92 Marvel masterpieces is what got me into comics as a kid. And luckily, that is a very inexpensive set. So when I found out about eBay as an adult or a young adult, I bought that set. I bought the tin. I had the 5 Lost cards that I never had as a kid and all this shit. And then, yeah, the Marvel Universe. I like the first 2 sets. I think it's 91 and 92 were the first, the 1 and 2. But, yeah, I started getting all that stuff. And then, the Marvel Masterpiece, the 92s, the back of the cards show you like the first appearance or the first cover appearance of the character. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, shit, I have money now. I could buy Amazing Spider-Man 300 and I would just look for the cheapest one online, like the raw copy. This is like 2000, like, I don't know, 9 or 10 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That, when you started, it's kind of a blur for me.
Yeah. But then I would send them to CGC, and then I found out that you could buy a book for cheap. Not cheap, but you can basically make money if you send it to CGC, and if it gets that good grade, you could really, come up. It. Yeah, you could flip it. So that kind of interests me too, because I've always been the type, ever since a kid, like, if I wanted Super Nintendo, I sold my Nintendo and all my Nintendo games in order to buy the Super Nintendo. Like, that's always been my mentality. So when I figured out that about comics, I was like, oh, shit, I could flip a bunch of books to buy a book that I really want.
Yeah.
I always kind of put it back into collecting, though. Like, flip to get what you want in the hobby.
Right.
Gotcha. So you started off as a kid. I'm going to guess you're probably around my age. I'm 37, so I'm guessing you're probably around my age. So you started like the Marvel Masterpiece is what got you into comics.
Yeah.
Now, if you're anything like me, I got into that kind of stuff too. I watched all like the X-Men 92 and stuff. And then as I hit high school, I was like, man, comics are for nerds.
Yeah.
I would never say that now, but back then I did. Like
once I found out about girls and weed, I was like, fuck this comic shit.
Yep, exact same thing happened to me. I was like a hardcore metalhead, and I just went hard into like the weed, the girls, and the metal. So.
I'm the same, but I was into rap music, and then like my friends started like producing music, and then we started like making music, and then had other people that we did like a record label thing. So I wasn't even thinking about comics and stuff until I kind of, I guess, gave all that shit up and settled down with Phie, and then worked a 9 to 5 and started searching on eBay, and I was like, it just kind of came back to me.
Nice. So you said around 2009, 2010 is kind of when you started. So what got you into creating kind of where you're at now? Because I think you've been doing like the YouTube and everything for 2, maybe 3 years at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a little over 2 years right now, right? I think it was October of 2017.
Okay, so yeah, a little over 2 years at this point. So what kind of got you to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this shit and put it on YouTube?
You know what's funny? Like when I mentioned the music thing, I've always been the type of person that was like, I see somebody else do it, and I'm always like, I could do that shit. So like
I feel that way about shit too.
When I was collecting Omnibus, I stumbled upon some Omnibus YouTube content creators. What's up, Mike?
What up?
And then I started watching them do like the Omni Bros show, and at the same time I was new into collecting statues, and I used to watch a couple of statue reviewers like Cartel from Hell or like Rad Titan. So I would watch these guys, and as I started building my collection, I'm like, yo, I'm going to start my own channel, and I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to take elements that I liked from each of them, and I'm going to like blend it into this thing and have my personality into it. And I just knew, like, I don't know, it was just like something just told me, like, I knew that's what I was going to do.
Awesome. Welcome, Mike.
Hey guys, sorry I jumped on late.
Hey.
I was like, I don't know where he's at. Let's just do this, and he'll jump on when he jumps on.
Yeah, I always like to be fashionably late.
It's the Canadian in you.
What's going on?
What's up?
Normally, I'm the one who's late.
You were kind of late, but not as late as
I was. I only got here shortly before you.
There we go.
So we were kind of talking about what got him into it and stuff, and so it started off with like the Marvel Masterpiece cards and things like that, and then kind of falling out of collecting, and then coming back into it, sort of like I did. So that's kind of where we're at, and then kind of what made him start up the whole YouTube thing.
Actually, I think I found your guys' channel, and I really like the overhead shots that you guys use, and I figured out how to do that with mine, because if you look at my old videos, I used to just open the book and show. But then I really liked your presentation, and I'm always constantly trying to improve the production quality and everything. So I figured out when I got a tripod, like you guys don't even know, my tripod used to be like 2 statue boxes stacked up on each other.
That's what I got.
Yeah. And then we went to Best Buy, and I found like bigger ones and ones you could kind of like look overhead and shit. And so you guys are the ones that inspired me to do that, because I really like that overhead presentation.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm actually trying to improve. We're trying to improve our channel all the time too. Mike's really good at that kind of stuff in the video editing. I'm not. I'm learning. I'm a noob when it comes to that stuff. So
I mean, still doing some of these videos, I'm running out of breath. I'm starting to sweat because just the angle's uncomfortable, and I'm sort of leaning over my table. It's rough trying to piece it together.
I found a good method to do mine. I wish it was more comfortable. You can't tell from looking at it. You guys think that I'm just like this, but I'm really like around the tripod and like bumping into it. I edit out and I bump into it, and it shakes the camera.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's awesome,
but it's fun
at
the end of the day.
So you started. What was your first statue? Because the first time I really kind of learned about you and stuff was you had posted. I think you guys had just bought your house. I know you're posting pictures of your house and stuff, and you're like, "This is going to be my office." Yeah. And then you started posting like the big Thanos when he in his chair and stuff, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I think I ended up screenshotting it. I sent it to Mike. I was like, "Dude, check out this fucking collection." I go, "This is nuts."
So what happened with that, actually, like we had moved from South Florida to Texas, West Texas. And I had a collection of about 12 statues when we moved over. The first statue, I finally bit the bullet. I pre-ordered the Wolverine vs. Hulk diorama, which it looks like the Hulk 181 cover. And it was $650. And at the time, I don't know, it seemed like a lot at the time, even though I had bought expensive CGC books. But, you know, it's like when the first time you buy from a different hobby, it's like it felt expensive. You know what I mean? Like I bought like $5,000 comics, but a $650 statue, I was like nervous for some reason. But anyway, when I pre-ordered it, and I found out you could put it on the credit card, I was like, oh shit, I'll just pre-order it and pay it off in a couple days or whatever. And I was so anxious to receive it that I went to my local comic shop, was Past, Present, Future in West Palm Beach at the time. I went there and I bought the Apocalypse premium format, and I bought the J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man comiquette. So technically I pre-ordered the Wolverine diorama, but then the first one I had in hand was really that Apocalypse. And just seeing those big pieces, like so massive in person, I was blown away. So when we moved to West Texas, we had like 3 months to find a house, because I relocated for my job. And I knew the house had to have a dedicated space, because I knew I was going to set up the collection for a YouTube channel. So that was really like the number one thing on my list, right? And then when we found this house, it was just perfect. Like it has this dedicated space that's not really a room. It's like an upstairs bonus room or living room or whatever, with minimal windows, because in Florida, every freaking wall has like 2 windows.
Yeah, so we have like no windows in our
This house has like no windows, which I'm cool with. But so yeah, it was meant to be, man. Like this, a lot of people have like, oh, I want a pool or a backyard. I was like, yo, I need a room for my collection, because I'm going to do this channel. I want the collection to have its own space anyway. So that was it, man.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Phie, what was your thought when he came to you and said, I'm going to do this YouTube channel? I got all these statues. Was
you
your
come to me and say anything? All of a sudden, he's just filming himself one day, and I'm just like, all right, this is what we're doing now. So
I think at first, I don't really think you got it, right? I don't think you got it until we started doing live shows, and she saw how many people were interacting with us, and she's like, "Oh shit, this is fucking."
So you have to realize, I'm a housewife. I'm alone all day long, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, these live shows! I can connect to people. I don't have to leave the house." I was like, I love it.
But she used to be like over here on the couch while we were doing live shows, and she would like be the moderator, and he'd be like, "Hey guys, this guy has asked you the same thing 10 times. Will you please answer whoever?" But then you started getting into it, and
well, sometimes I didn't know the answers to the questions. Sometimes I would just answer it if it was something I could answer. But if it was something I couldn't answer, I'd be like, "Yo, Steve, what the fuck? Answer this question."
Yeah, that must be wild because we've had people interact, and it's like 5 or 6 people, and we're struggling to keep up with the comments. Sometimes you guys just have like a waterfall coming through.
We watch back sometimes, and we're like, "Yo, we missed so much."
Well, yeah, when I go back and look at it, I'm like, I thought I had it under control, like kind of. I was like, "Yo, I'm way off, way off."
And then she gets mad at me because I try to go in a row, but then it's like there's so much and then she's like, "I'm all the way down here, and you're all the way up here."
I just start telling people, "Yo, you need to tag me if you want me to see your comment." I'm gonna start reading tag comments.
It was funny because when I first went live with Manimal, who used to be on the show with me, I was like, "Yo, what if no one shows up?" I was like, mad nervous, and like a good amount of people showed up the first time, But I was like, I don't know.
I just always have fun with the live shows. It's always fun for me. I just like it.
Yeah. We've noticed the time just flies by.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours goes by, and you're like, "Well, okay."
Well, I used to not want to cut it because we have like a good amount of people still there, right? But now I'm like, I'll leave them on a high note, like So, like the analytics show, like those are like the least viewed videos, the least audience retention, the least money makers. So we only really do it as like to interact with the viewers once a week.
I really like it. Yeah. I really do like it.
Yeah, we just started doing, I think, live shows like within the last month or two, and it just kind of started as like just something we wanted to do to kind of interact with one another, because I'm in Nebraska, he's in Canada and Toronto, and so we were just wanting to do something to kind of hang out and BS. And then people so we discovered StreamYard, thanks to you actually. And then people started kind of joining in and commenting, and we started interacting. We're like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, people actually care what we think. Like, this is kind of cool.
It's fun for the time being, but it doesn't seem to get a lot of playback on the replays.
Yeah.
It's just me replaying and watching it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, especially if it's like a 2-hour video. I don't know how YouTube does their analytics, if like people have to watch the majority of the video or just like a little, I don't know.
It might be like a certain amount of time. Like I feel like I've heard you say something about 5 minutes.
Yeah, they show the audience retention will show like 90% of people drop off after 5 minutes. Although the whole time it shows a steady amount of people watching.
It's like people coming on and coming off. It's it's wild to look at it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And Matt and I used to do a podcast, so we got used to talking shit for a couple hours every night, and then it just stopped. Our lady counterparts started going crazy.
We used to try to do themed like shows, but like I would do a show. Okay, this is going to be about Annihilation, but the comments would be like, "What do you think about Batman?" Da da da. So I said, fuck doing topics, man. We're just going to answer your questions the whole time, and that's kind of what I've done ever since.
Yeah. I've noticed you're well, especially with your Facebook group, you're doing a lot more like top 10 omnis they'd like to see.
Yeah.
You did the video. I think it was today, right, for the next book you want to read.
Right. Yeah.
So that that's a pretty good move too, especially when you've got 3K in the Facebook group. I mean, that's wild, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that was actually a suggestion from someone, and I was like, yo, that's brilliant, because I've really been wanting to kind of like do more. I don't want to say dumb down the videos, but like, what's my top 10 favorite cartoons? Like shit like that seems to be like more popular in YouTube than saying
people love a top number video. Like numbers. I don't understand. Like I have never gone to YouTube and like the top 10.
But if I see that, I get tricked every time. I click that shit every time. Top 10.
Never click that shit.
Yeah.
I actually do voiceovers for a lot of different YouTube channels, and all the voiceover shit that I get 9 times out of 10 is top 10 craziest animals that are damn near extinct, or
I watch all those.
Top 5 things Judge Judy did that you don't know about, like all this crazy shit. I'm just like, you guys are paying me to read this. I'll read whatever you pay me to read, but all right. So it's,
Oh my god.
yeah, they love it though. Some of them, some of the larger ones, like there was one that I was on that I did, and it's got like over 4 million views, and I was like, this is insanity.
Yeah.
I don't see any cut of the.
That's what I say about dumbing down. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to just think of how do you reach a broader audience, but still doing the shit that I do. And then there goes Blake Kenny in the chat. He was the one that gave me the idea for that one.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
And then T asked where'd Manimal go. So the thing with Manimal was kind of touchy, but at the end of the day, we just had creative differences on how we were running the channel. And he decided to leave, and I just decided to run it by myself, like how when I started it. So that's kind of, without getting too much into it, that kind of answer, you know?
Fair enough. Cool. Well, let's see here. We got a couple questions here.
Yes, sorry, I started. That's just used to answering the question.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you're good. You're good.
I don't know.
Do any of you collect Godzilla merch or comics? I don't. I don't know. Does anybody else? No.
Word, it's gonna burn.
Sorry, Raptor Rancher. We do not. I'm not opposed to it. I've just
me
not
neither.
read any of it.
That gets me going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I've never
Godzilla's
read any of
cool,
it.
but I don't collect.
Cruise Sick Crossover. Thank you.
So cruising.
What up?
Chris M, I just ordered a Gorgon book.
Don't look at it.
Which Gorgon is that? That's not from Inhumans, right? Or am I thinking about Gargan?
I don't know.
Gorgon, yeah,
Chris, if you want to clarify, we'll throw it up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I get these. I'm sure you guys get these kind of comments all the time too. But like, I found these channels around the same time. Never read a comic or anything else before, but because of the movies in these channels, they discover a hobby. I think personally that is one of the coolest fucking things that could ever happen to any channel, no matter how big or small. So
hell yeah, the whole "you got me into comics" thing is awesome.
Yeah.
What up, Mike?
What up,
Amazing Asian?
Yeah.
What up?
I'm him now. Oh, I'm him.
Oh, I'm.
Yeah, I think it starts like that for everyone, right? I think the first video I saw was one of Riley's videos back when he was doing his channel.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw too. I think he was the first, because I started collecting Omnibus. I found them on my own, maybe through my shop or something. So like me, I started collecting them, and I'm like, there's got to be a YouTube like checklist. So I searched it, and his came up, and I think I was like, oh, this is like 8 months old. Like, where the fuck has this guy been, right? So then I started finding the Facebook group and everything.
Awesome. He said Gorgon was Ditko.
Oh, okay.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Yeah, me neither. All that Silver Age stuff goes over my head. Too young for it.
That must be when he left Marvel or something, right? I don't know.
The old lingo is too weird for me. I can't. It's just too weird.
Yeah. I'd like to have the origins of characters, though. I like to have the first appearance in comic form and be able to go back to it.
IDW.
Come on, Chris, give us the full story. He's giving us these bits and pieces.
It's going like this. It's like David. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
a little issue. I saw it on the. I feel like I have it downstairs. It's. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
What is a 240-page oversized hardcover?
So, Phie, are you into collecting then? Did Gem get you into collecting? Kind of how did that get started?
Well, as a child, I collected Pez dispensers. That was my first thing that I liked to collect. So I've had a collecting bug since I was little. I'm into like a lot of like the old girl stuff, like Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright, Smurfs, like shit like that. And I just always like I like to go to thrift stores and find like old vintage bed sheets, like old Batman or Joker or old Pyrex, or I like to collect old, like hard to find Converse from the thrift stores. Like I just like I like to get stuff like in the wild.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're not really into like ordering the shit off eBay. You want to find it.
But patches are a lot harder. I have to order those off eBay. It's
like
really
patches.
difficult to find patches.
Michael says that you love buttons.
Yeah, she's like, well,
I have a lot of buttons, but I don't like.
You only like the one kind.
I don't really collect what kind of buttons.
I'm thinking about pins.
Oh no, I like enamel pins are cool. I like enamel
pins.
pins, but like my favorite are patches. Like I love patches, vintage patches.
So, Gem, at this point, how many years do you think before you run out of room?
I always sell stuff. And there's things I don't have to keep. Like the only stuff I really have to keep is the DC and Marvel Omnibus. So a lot of times if I get done reading an oversized hardcover set, I would sell it. Like I would sell the BPRD stuff and the Hellboy stuff at this point. So like a lot of that stuff is not forever keepers. And I have a lot of stuff. I can remove this couch and do Omnibus all over the wall if I want.
I'm the hoarder, not Steve.
Yeah, I'm not,
I don't have any attachments to anything.
I don't.
Okay, fair enough.
So at this point, how many statues do you think you've bought? And then how many statues do you currently have?
I currently have a lot less than I've ever bought. Like right now, I only have like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, I have like 14 statues right now with probably 20 on pre-order.
What?
Yeah. I've had over 100 statues though, if I think about everything that I bought easily. Because I had like 60 statues when I ended up selling them all. And then stuff I had to have come and gone in between. You know what's funny?
It's all going like this, Pat. I don't know what's going on.
For me, with the channel, it kind of gets immortalized when I review it. So, like in my mind, I can always just go back and watch the video. I don't really have to have it forever. I don't know if that's weird or not, but
no, that's cool.
I hear that.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah,
That's an excellent point.
I always I love seeing statues. Those the Batman black and white ones, especially. For some reason, I don't know. I always see cases of those at my shop.
Yeah,
and I just wish I could just haul that case over my shoulder and walk out with it. But you know, I've got a couple, and then it's the same thing where they just sort of sit there, and you're like, you look at it once in a while, and it's that's cool, but I could also have it not be there.
Yeah,
and you know, move on to the next one.
The same thing happened to me when I was collecting CGC keys. Like at one point, I was looking at my wall and I'm like, "Yo, there's like $50,000 worth of statues right here. Like, I would rather have $50,000 in my pocket right now." And I was like, "Fuck it, sell that shit."
And he'll do that. Like the next day, he'll be like, "Phie, I need you to pack 600 boxes." I'm like, "What?" I'll go out
with the books. So I don't know. I don't want to sell them because they have so much more value in them as far as like the content, right? Like a statue looks cool, but a book has so many pages in each one, and you could literally read them for years. And then the prices fluctuate up and down so much that I would hate to sell a book that was a whale and now there's a reprint. I would hate to lose like that. But then there's a ton of books now that are whales that I just bought for 50% off not too long ago. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was out of print, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how the omnibus market's been working lately.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, especially with stuff like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I know it's not an omnibus, but like, you know,
is it out of print now?
Never...
It was, and I think, is it again out of print?
It's volume 1's borderline. It's definitely creeping back up in price again. I think last I looked, it was around the 125 market. But I know at one point I had the volume 1, and I was like, man, I could buy a lot of books right now. So I ended up selling the volume 1. I think I sold it at the high point for like 400. So.
See, I didn't even know that, yo. And then I only knew it when they had announced the reprint double slipcase, not slipcase one, but you know what I'm saying, the reprint. And I was like, damn, I wish I would have known it was going for all that. I didn't even know.
Yeah. I got them again when they reprinted. I was like, man, I still want those in my collection. But like, if the price ever goes up again, like you said, I'd rather have money in my bank account than.
I'm really tempted on. Well, I'm not really tempted, but like, damn, Marvel's reprinting a lot of Omni. Should I sell my X-Men Volume 1 and 2 by Stan Lee? Are they going to just reprint it later? Like, should I sell the Journey into Mystery or the Mighty Thor Volume 1? But then there's that chance that they don't reprint it, you know?
Yeah, one of the greatest things that I ever did is I found the Stan Lee X-Men Volume 1. I bought it mint condition off a guy on Facebook for $50.
Damn.
I don't have it. Needless said, like I said, I preferred money in my bank account. So
I hear that.
I made a very nice profit on that one. But
I think I bought mine for like $350 or something. That was the one that was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drop on this one. It's like a must-have omnibus for me.
Yeah.
That's
getting its third reprint.
Yeah. So a couple more questions here. We got Amazing Asian. When's Gem Con?
When is it, Steve? When are we doing it?
A lot of organization. I don't know.
No, we can just throw it all. As long as they get to El Paso, we can all meet up. El Paso is not big.
I think the better thing is to do it when we go to a con and do it like at San Diego or New York.
I want to do that also.
But how do you rent out space in New York? That seems like impossible.
Oh no, we're just gonna have to meet up at a restaurant.
But then is it really a Gem Con then? We rented out a party house, or what do you call it? Like a ballroom or something one year?
Yeah, like a hall. Like a hall.
Yeah.
Nice. He has 20 statues on pre-order yet. Grapes and Phie wants some shelves for herself.
We just bought Phie a bunch of shit.
He really did. He bought me a lot of stuff. I have to set it all up.
We bought her. She got a bigger desk than me. She got her this chair.
Yeah, I got this new chair. I have to get some shelves and like cabinets though.
That's awesome. Collecting is very therapeutic. I agree.
Yeah.
There's something about the excitement of waiting for it to get in the mail, and then when you open it up, and there's definitely. I agree. It's definitely.
I've always said, and it's the same with new comics. Like every Wednesday, like it's something to look forward to. It's good to have something to look forward to, and then especially if you do the hobby right, stuff you can make money in the hobby, or at least what you buy retains value, or sometimes it appreciates, sometimes it depreciates, but it holds value. So you could always sell it to buy that next thing you want. I mean, that's how I look at it, at least.
Yep. Oh, I'm the exact same way. Have you ever planned to pack all your books and relocate yourself to another part of the world?
I mean, we've done it.
We've done it. I've done it.
She's done it. So what we did was, like, with all these omnibus, it was less than it is now, but it was still a lot.
It was still a lot. It was tons of books. It had to have been tons of books.
We bought a bunch of small Home Depot boxes and packed them with like 4 to 6 omnis each. I say we, but really she did it. And she packed them as good as if you had to ship them.
I saran wrapped them. I packed.
Well, I helped saran wrap them too.
Yeah, you did help me with that. He did help me with saran wrapping them, and
so
I
then
packed them all.
we moved with pods. So one pod was like omnibus and statues. It was filled up, man, and nothing got damaged. Everything was good.
I was worried that it was gonna throw the weight off. I was like, how am I gotta line like the whole bottom of this thing with books? Like,
we didn't though. We put it on the back, I think.
No. I did sort of make it like but unpacking them was also a son of a bitch. That shit was. Oh.
And bringing them up the stairs, my back was killing me.
Yeah, it was a workout.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
But would I do it again? I don't know. It really would depend. It would depend where we're moving and why.
I would do it again.
Yeah, I guess.
I would do it again.
Even now that the collection's grown as much as it has?
Yeah, no.
I wonder if I would sell a lot before moving. I don't know. I mean, we don't have those plans to move anytime soon.
I
so
think of it like job security to really pack it all up again.
Keep your internship.
Yeah, keep my internship.
Gem and Phie, given your statue expertise, do you have an awareness or any interest in any of the now defunct 3A, AAA toys or 3.0 toys?
No,
I've never even heard of it.
No. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. So.
I don't have any expertise in statues.
But I'll tell you what. So I did collect action figures for a small time. I was collecting Marvel Selects before statues, and I was going back to collect the old like 90s X-Men and Spider-Man toys. But I was liking Selects because the bigger ones like the Thing or Thanos were kind of like statues. So then when I got into statues, like, oh shit, I'm not gonna buy action figures anymore. Like this is what I needed. You know what I mean?
That was one of your stages that you went through because you had a whole room filled with toys.
Yeah, I used to pair up the Marvel Selects with the CGC slabs and shit.
Nice.
Amazing. I got those Preachers covers off, man. Oh shit, is Amazing Asian? Is that Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Me and Mike were talking. He was asking about custom binds. I was helping him out with Mike. He was actually the one that was asking about the Preacher custom binds.
Oh, sweet.
That was wanting us to help him out with designing and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta check those emails.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, we're looking forward to helping you out with that.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's jumping all around. Gem, did you see the Iron Studios Hawkman unboxing?
I caught a couple seconds of it, but I didn't really watch it. I didn't even see the Hawkman part. I just saw when Junior was showing the Prime 1 Batman he had on the desk. But I'll probably check it out tomorrow.
Awesome. Let's see. What are you guys reading most recently?
You guys want to start or us?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm doing a little X-Men like 90s read through. I just finished Extinction Agenda, and I'm reading the X-Men Volume 2 Omnibus by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee.
Awesome.
Having fun with that so far?
So Volume 1, I have fun with. It was really, really boring. But Extinction Agenda picked up. I think it was still important, though, because it introduced Gambit, introduced Jubilee, Psylocke, and everything. So it was worth it to read it. But it's starting to pick up now, and then I hear this Volume 2, which I've read a lot. I've read the whole adjective list X-Men, which is the end of this omnibus. So I'm just interested to kind of refresh and catch up with Uncanny that led up into that. I don't think Phie is reading anything right now.
No, I'm working on a project.
She's got a lot of other shit going on.
I do a lot of crafting.
And she does a lot of Gem Mint Collectibles work.
Yeah, that too.
I'm kind of bouncing around between a few things. I'm rereading right now the Masters of the Universe omnibus.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah, I love Masters. I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan.
Yeah.
I'm also currently reading. I just got these the 3-volume Hitman custom bind collection, so I'm currently going through and rereading Hitman.
Okay.
And what else was I? Oh, Transformers, IDW Transformers.
So which one? Phase 1 or 2?
I'm currently on phase 1.
I need to start phase 2. Do you guys know anything about this one that's coming out tomorrow? It's another hardcover, but it's something world meets world. I don't know. I guess not.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
There's a deluxe edition coming out tomorrow. Anyway, I'll just pick it up and see what it is.
Yeah, so that's what I've been reading. Mike, what have you been reading?
I've been working my way through the 90s JLA. It's been pretty fun. It's all over the place. It gets a little crazy with jumping into different dimensions and trying to... It almost seems like they're kind of making up science, but it's good. I'm having fun with it.
I'm also reading a ton of single issues every week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are tough to keep up with, man. Damn, I got a whole bunch of issues to catch up on.
Yeah.
Mike? Did you ever read that Peter Cannon?
No, I haven't yet. No,
I read it, man. I need to do a video on it. It was good. I definitely suggest though you get some background on who the character is though, because if you don't, like, I had to wiki that shit. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Peter Cannon, yeah. I've been really liking the DC Black Label stuff. I know, Steven, you're getting those too.
Yeah,
I like that format. They're going straight to the oversized size right away.
Yeah,
it's good.
I like the Hill House comics. I think all
Hill
of them
House is awesome. Good. I love the Hill House comics.
The only Black Label book I couldn't really get into was that whole Last Gods book.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out, but I know for fantasy folks, it's
it's more of like that. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I know there's not too many issues out currently, but what is like one of your favorite Hill House books right now?
I guess I try to think of what do I always want to read first when I get the pile. I guess I always want to read Dollhouse Family.
Yes.
I always want to read what's the other one I'm thinking of? Shit. So they have that.
I can say them. I don't know if they're the ones, but like Oblivion Song.
No, that's Image.
Dead Eyes.
No, Image as well.
Basket Full of Heads.
Basket Full of Heads is the other one I was going to say. Yeah, that one.
You're reading that one?
Yeah.
You've been reading it from the beginning? Or do we have all of them?
Yeah, they're like 3 or 4 issues.
Oh my God, I want to read it. I saw it.
That's what I was thinking of. I was like, what's the movie on this island that was raining in the first issue or whatever? And
I thought they were on like book 14.
No, you're thinking about something else. Yeah, but all of them are good. I mean, even that whole, what is it, Daphne Byrne.
Yep. Yes, I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, it was good and it was interesting enough. There's other ones. I'm trying to think of what they
Lolo Woods.
Lolo Woods.
Even though that's only on 2 issues, I think as well.
Yeah. I thought that there's not too many out right now, but I'm seriously enjoying it. I thought the Dollhouse Family, I kind of read the premise and I was like, and then I read it and I was like, oh, fuck, it was good. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I think I guess I think like even though they're low in issues, I'm interested in them. Like with the new Hellblazer, I couldn't get into that shit, man. It just seems
really
obscure. I don't know.
I just realized I am reading something.
What?
20XX.
Oh yeah,
I
20XX.
Do. Yeah, 20. I know it's only 2 issues in, but I am liking it.
Christopher Luna book.
Good. Yeah, I like the Luna Brothers a lot. I just like to wait until the thing's done and then binge the whole series. But good to know.
Me too. And I stopped collecting single issues to get into the omnibus format, but then I started feeling like I was behind. You know what I mean? Like everyone is up to date on what's going on currently, and I'm stuck reading some old collection. You know?
Yeah. It's just tough. Yeah, I know when I was, because I buy way less omnis now than I used to, but it would be like 5 or 6 coming in every month, and then you read maybe 1 or 2, and then we try to keep up with like DC Rebirth and stuff, and it's just crazy.
I'm not keeping up with DC Rebirth.
Yeah, that was nuts. When we did our podcast, DC was sending us review books. I mean, digitally, but they were sending us like the weekly review books.
That's cool.
And they were sending us, at one point, I think we were getting like 15 to 6. They were dropping so many books every week. And we were trying to read every single title, and then we would do a podcast on it. And it got to be way too much, especially when a lot of the books weren't very good.
Yeah.
It got to be way too much.
Let me ask you this: so how does that work? DC sends you a book and you don't like it. Do you give it a negative review?
We did.
We were honest.
I mean, it was a digital copy. So, I mean, it wasn't like I wish it was the physical book, but it was just a digital copy. They sent us to a week in advance, so we'd get to read it, and then we would record, and then we would drop it like Wednesday morning. And we would if it was like we used to bash Harley Quinn all the time.
Oh, Justice League, we would spend like 10 minutes.
Horrible.
Did they ever say anything to you about that?
No, they never.
They'd send us creators to interview.
Yeah, they send us creators to interview and whatnot as well.
Yeah, I'd be trying to reach out to DC, and I had a couple of contacts that were acting like they were interested, but then they stopped replying to my emails for some reason. I was like, all right.
Yeah, we tried because DC used to send us stuff all the time, and like Image sends us stuff, which we still do. Image, Dynamite. We've recently gotten in touch with Vincent. He's been helping us out over at Dynamite.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, DC
Valiant was big for us.
Yeah, Valiant's been really big to us. Yep. I'm trying to think. Clark Bull was who we used to talk to at DC. I don't know if he's still there, but Clark Bull is who we used to talk to at DC. The
contacts I found, it was a woman's name, and I think there was a Mike that I would just send. I would reply to both of them. And Image, I don't know what happened with them. They put something on Instagram that they wanted like content creators to hit them up to do early reviews, and I hit them up, but I never heard back from them. And as far as I know, nobody heard back from them, because even like my boy No More Mutants on Instagram, he's got like 500,000 followers, and they didn't reply to him either.
Wow.
Oh, after we get off here, man, I'll send you their contact info, because we still get stuff from Image and whatnot for early reviews. We've been dealing with them for a couple years
about that, man.
What? How did you not know? We've been doing it. You just don't check the email is what happened.
Oh my god.
Sophie loves Image. She likes Image books better than the big two.
Yeah, the only thing that Image doesn't send is like when Walking Dead was going on, they wouldn't send like the newest Walking Dead. Like anything that was like really, really big that was gonna sell out, they wouldn't send that stuff.
Yeah, I love
because they didn't want anything to get leaked. But
yeah, for sure.
But like Ice Cream Man or Gideon Fall or whatever, that kind of stuff.
I want to send me that shit all day. I like to read the Gideon Falls, Oblivion Song, and all these new titles that come out. So that would be dope.
Yeah, I'll send you the contact info for who emails us and see if we did it back when our podcast, and we just still have the contacts. So
that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Image is great. It's just the consistency sometimes bums me out a bit, 3-month break or whatever. I get it. The artist needs time.
Yeah.
It
feels more like a work at your own pace type of company. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you want to put your book out, let us know when it's done or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then with hardcovers, it's like every 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, but doesn't the creative team have to foot the bill to publish their own hardcovers or something like that?
Yeah, so we talked to Matt Hawkins, and he pretty much is like the director of Top Cow, the president of Top Cow, and he said that I think Image will put it up there if it's selling enough. They'll be like, hey, you guys should consider an hardcover. Yeah. They might give them a jump.
Really make a profit, does it?
Yeah, I wonder how all that works, because the creators retain the rights, but maybe I don't know if they might not be getting all $3.99.
Because who still owns Image? Is it still Todd McFarlane and a couple of those guys, or?
I think so, because they've split into Top Cow, Skybound.
Right.
So I think they've each got their own.
I was always under the impression that Image was like a nonprofit kind of distributor, kind of publisher. I don't know. Maybe it takes money to sustain the company, but it doesn't no one's getting rich off of owning Image Comics. Is what I guess.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I mean, all the creators make their own book too, so.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Gem, any interest in hot toys?
Woo-hoo!
No, not at all. And I guess the reason why is because it feels like I skipped hot toys. I think a natural progression would have been like action figures, hot toys, statues, and I feel like I just skipped over hot toys and went to statues. And it feels too much like an action figure for me to go back.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Y'all see the cover for the New World of Black Hammer Library Edition Volume 1 to tie-ins on June 10th. I can't wait to continue the collection. Those are great. I like Black Hammer a lot. Black Hammer is really good.
I read the first issue and I didn't love it, and I put it down and I never picked it up since.
It's one that I feel like it takes a couple issues to really kind of get into it, because it's kind of a slow burn into the world and getting to know all the characters. But I think once you kind of hit that stride, it's solid.
It gave me an Umbrella Academy vibe, or even like a BPRD type of vibe with the artwork and everything. And I don't know. I wasn't ready for that at the time when I picked it up.
Amazing Asian, answer your question. Yes, DC did cancel the Man of Steel Omnibus. They've resolicited it as oversized hardcover, which is bullshit, but It is what it is. DC. Which I don't understand, man. That Man of Steel Omnibus is a book people have been clamoring for years. Like, why would you announce it? People get, and then you, I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
I don't feel like DC has their hand on the pulse when it comes to collected editions as much as Marvel does.
I would agree with that.
Marvel's VP of sales marketing is in the trenches with what we want and follows that very closely. So I don't know. These guys don't seem to be doing the same.
I'm waiting for Gem to get into Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
I never fucked with any car stuff as a kid.
Yeah,
I never cared. I like Transformers. If it didn't turn into like a weapon, like I didn't really want to play with it.
No.
Well, that's the next step.
White Wolf said Jim's about to roast Hot Toys. Nah, I got to keep it cool, man. Some people like Hot Toys. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Don't want to burn any bridges.
Yeah,
you never know. Lots of just comments and talking about how much epic this is, and people appreciate it. So, well, thank you for everybody jumping on, because normally our live streams, we usually do them later at night like this because I got kids, I gotta put them to bed and shit first. But most of the time, I think the most we usually have watching live is usually around 15 or so. Tonight we're up to 32. It's double.
There we
go. Doubling our numbers.
Geminites in the building. I see our boy Adarsh in the building.
Hell yeah.
Brandon Wilson.
Chris M. Bavarian Rev.
That's why you say our kids are over there like, God, mom and dad are live again.
So
our kids are old, man. Our kids are like 11 and 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an 11 and 7, a 3 and a 1.5.
Oh,
jeez, why go back? And start having I never get that. I'm like, why would you keep doing it again?
Once my second one was out of diapers, we were like, yo, let's not have any more. We're done buying diapers.
Yeah, we did that for 5 years, and then my wife's like, I want more.
Oh, shit.
But see, you have to go in knowing you're always going to want more kids. It's never going to go away. So I just burn the bridge. Just throw the bridge out.
Well, the good news now is it's officially done. It's done.
No, but I feel you on that. She wanted more. Fuck it. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Amazing Asian is the worst spread you got there, bro.
Yikes.
Oh.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I can't do 10 years apart. That's intense.
I'm kicking myself at 3.5 years. I'm like, God, why do we wait so long?
Yeah.
Yep, that's why my wife wanted 2 more. She's like, I feel like they're too far apart in age, because our first one was 11, second one is like soon to be 8, and she's like, they're just too far apart. They need to be closer together. And I was like, no, really, like we got a boy and a girl. We're good. We got one of each. We're good.
It's so easy.
Yeah, and then we had 2 more, and then we had another boy and a girl. So now I got 2 boys, 2 girls. I'm like,
yeah. See, I wanted a boy too, but we had 2 girls. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna fuck around and have a third girl.
That happened. So happened to actually one of my good friends. They had 4 girls, or no, 3. They had 3 girls, and he wanted a boy. So they went. He goes, one last try. Like, I want my boy. One last try. The last try, they got a guy with 4 daughters. They got twins. The last try.
Oh my God.
1 girl, 1 boy. So he did get his boy, but now he's got 4 girls and 1 boy.
Oh my God.
I was like, man, I can't imagine.
No, Bandito's 23 and he has a 4-year-old brother. Your mom's wild.
That's like me. Like my sister is the same age as our daughter, right?
Yeah, a little, just like 2 years older. Yeah, older.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Cool. Well, does anybody have any other questions or anything for Gem and Phie? I don't want to keep them all night. I know Gem wants to read, and Phie said she's got some crafting to do. But if you guys got some questions, let's get them out there.
I doubt our people have any questions. They fucking know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I know you guys probably already know everything, but
yeah.
Bro, thanks for having us on, though. This is
thank you guys for coming on. This was you guys were our first official guests on the show, so this was big for us. Our goal for 2020 is to get a lot more creators and other content creators and things like that on the show as well.
It's always good, no matter what, because there's always going to be viewers that don't know about the other channel that now they'll check each other's stuff, like people that only watch you guys that found out about us and vice versa. So it's always good to network like that.
True.
Which is why I'm always down. People ask me, I'm always going to be like, yo, let's do it. This is all I do. Like, I don't care.
All you have to say to me is we're doing a live show. I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is
Yeah, right
awesome. Adarsh wants to know when you're reading Gwenpool.
This. You know I asked you this. It's on my nightstand. I'm eventually gonna get it.
I haven't read it yet either.
The
So.
short box.
we have short box by our beds.
Yeah.
But it's like once it goes into the box, is it coming back out?
Right.
You have to beat your chest when you're coming through your week, but still, boy. Awesome.
Boy.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We do greatly appreciate it. And for those that haven't subscribed, jump on and subscribe to Gem Mint and subscribe to the hardcover comic and let us know some more content you guys want to see. Like I said, we're trying to get creators on the show. We've interviewed a lot in the past, so hopefully we can still reach out to some of them. And but let us know any creators you guys want to see us interview as well. Our goal is to do it just like this. It's going to be live and where we interview for however long, and then we open it up to you guys to ask questions to your favorite creators in real time. So
cool.
Good
Again,
shit,
it's been pretty good. Not too many inappropriate comments. So been pretty lucky.
Those are the best ones.
we did a live stream for like 2 hours where I had like a muscle shirt on and my chest hair was just poking out. Not one person mentioned it over 2 hours. So
your taco meat. That's what it's called. Taco meat.
It's still trying.
Skate free. You know what's up.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's that spine, y'all.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. I greatly appreciate it.
Everybody have a great night and back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Stay classy, internet.
All right.
Later.
Peace.